Hello dear viewers, today we will discuss problems of slum population in India. India's population as per the census 2011 is 121 crore. Out of this 121 crore persons, over 65 million people, that is 1.3 crore urban slums household, live in slums as per the census of 2011. In 2001 census, the total slum population was reported to be 52 million. There is a visible rise in the slum population in the decade, that is of 13 million persons. The growth in slum population is still slower than the average urban population over the last decade. Data also states that the average household living in a slum is no larger than an average urban Indian household with 4.7 family members. Referring to the growth in the slum population in India, Times of India reported that slum population will grow to 104 millions by 2017, or in other terms, it will be around 9% of the projected total of the national population that year, that is 128 billion. Prior to moving further, we will firstly understand the meaning and concept of slums and different types of slums. Slums are informal residential developments. Slums include overcrowded urban streets inhabited by very poor people. All those who can afford no home for themselves otherwise develop informal residences and club their living with those already settled in those slums. The United Nations Habitat describes slums as a place which is featured by lack of good housing facilities, lack of access and facility of drinking water, inadequate sanitation and insecure tenure. Census and the slums. Census 2011 defines slums as residential areas where dwellings are unfit of human habitation and are featured with issues like dilapidation, overcrowding, faulty arrangements and designs of such houses informally constructed or built. In addition, the streets where these houses are developed are narrow and have faulty arrangements. The houses in slums lack proper ventilation, light and sanitation facilities. The slums and the slum houses are detrimental to health and safety of the dwellers. Census 11 categorized slums into three categories. Those are notified slums, recognized slums and identified slums. The notified slums are any notified areas in a town or city notified as slum by the state, UT, administration or local government under any act. Recognized slums include those areas which may not have been formally notified by the state, UT, administration or local government under any act yet, but have been recognized for the same purpose. The third category is of identified slums, which include a compact area of at least 300 population or about 60 to 70 households of poorly built congested temporary houses in unhygienic environment, usually with inadequate infrastructure and lacking in proper sanitation and drinking water facilities. In many of the cities like Mumbai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Delhi, Chennai, Thane, Bangalore and the like, a proportion more than half of their total city's population is a slum population. This scene poses a big threat as well as a challenge to the urban planners and urban population too. The whole scenario shows that there is a bulk of Indian population living under threatening hygienic situations and dilapidated houses with no or with negligible facilities like sanitation, healthy drinking water and the like. While talking about the problem of slum population in India, we need to refer to the factors behind development of slums in India, effects of slum development and then increase in slum population and solutions too. We will first discuss the factors behind development of slums in India. There are multiple factors behind development of slums in India. First of all, It is the population and the resources ratio. The resources available in India, including the land's capacity to regenerate the used resources, is too lesser than the number of people in need. It is important to refer here that India holds meagerly 2.4% of world surface area of 135.79 million square kilometers, and it sustains 17.5% of the world's population. On the other hand, USA holds only 7.2% of the world's surface area and caters to only 4.5% of the world's population, as reported by World Population Prospect 2008. The figure shows population of selected countries through which the population pressure in India reflects very clearly. Data shows that India's population is nearly 121 crores and the decadal growth rate has been 17.70%. India, having second largest population after China, shows such a high decadal change rate, which is third highest in the world after Nigeria, followed by Pakistan, the two countries too lesser population than India. India's population is a big concern, as a nation has to cater the needs of population dwelling in it. On the other hand, the needs depend on the available resources even after themselves being infinite, unlimited, and even at times undue. India's population total is in fact the total of population of 6 countries, namely USA, Indonesia, Brazil, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Japan. The burden of duties to cater the citizens' needs on the government of India can be very well seen here. In such a situation, there is a need to ponder over a few crucial questions. Where will such huge bulk reside? Is the government actually and genuinely able to match up the provisions of residential facilities with the quantum and the needs of the growing population? Where such a big population will reside if they have no home? Can they be denied the right to dwell or move in the nation when they are born in India and when they are duly Indian citizens? Can slums be so easily demolished? Do all in India earn to the level of their basic needs? Are not slums the last options for homeless people? These questions make it very evident that development of slums is one of the most obvious outcomes of problem of population in India. Figure 2 shows the rural-urban population of India. Another major reason behind development of slums is the process of urbanization. Urbanization literally is gradual increase of people living in urban areas. While urbanization takes place or accelerates, more and more people leave rural areas and their small towns and shift to urban areas like metros or big cities. This is usually done for better life chances, for more income, for better skill scale and the like. But the biggest influence on demographic face of the nation are high density of population in urban areas, problems of housing, resource stress for the already residing population, resources like drinking and water, etc., pressure on the local governments to manage issues like social security, safe living and the like, development of slums under sudden pressure of residential needs and the like. Figure 3 shows a radical rise in urban population in India from 1951 to 2011, and the urban population is still expected to be almost double in 2026. In addition, the Census 11 reports that it was for the first time in India that the absolute increase in population is more in urban areas than the rural areas. Urbanization is being followed as a trend. Rural people find shifting to urban areas the most apt solution to their economic, social and political problems, which is in fact in most of the cases just transformation of problems from older to newer ones. The migrants forget that the target region for one is target region for many, rather for uncountable. For them, shifting to urban areas imply adaptation to the technological advancements, taking advantages by getting jobs and skill-based industrializations, economic development and the like. Problems of housing and the quality of housing facilities followed by development of slums are the most immediate repercussions of urbanization. In addition, the density of population in urban areas is increasing, posing big threats to socio-cultural stability, as quoted by many good researchers and thinkers. Figure 4 puts more light on the relation between issues of population, urbanization and slum development. The urban population in the year 1981 was only 159.5 million and it raised to 377.1 million persons in 2011. In opposition, the slum population being 27.9 million in 1981 increased to 65.4 million in 2011. The data very clearly reflects the effect of urban population growth on slum population growth, although not on the same pace, but both the processes move towards higher scale. That is the process of urbanization and the process of development of slums. The issue of unemployment and poverty can also not be ignored while talking about problems of slum population. Perhaps poverty and unemployment are two such forces which internal migrants realize for making decisions regarding shifting from one to other place as it happens in urbanization. Although the people under poverty line are shown to be reducing over the years in India, but it can't be denied that still many do not have income matching to their basic needs and needed expenses. Owning a house or renovating an already owned house has become too costly an affair under the present inflationary pressures. Poverty is largely linked to issue of unemployment. In urban areas, about 18% of people from the age group of 15 years to 24 years seek job or work to earn, and in rural areas this percentage is 21%. The young women seeking job are higher with their percentage, that is 17% in urban and 20% in rural areas. Unemployment accelerates poverty and poverty affects decisions regarding dwelling places. Another allied factor behind speedy development of slums in India is internal migration. India is one of such countries in the world where the rate of internal migration is very high. People move from one state city to other and move to another better place for better life chances. The main target places of internal migration are the big metros, big cities having ample opportunities for the entrance in the name of skilled labor jobs or contracts or earning chances of other nature. We learned that as per Census 11, total number of slum enumeration blocks in India is about 1.08 lakh. The largest number of slum enumerated blocks have been reported from Maharashtra, that is 21,359. Maharashtra, housing the financial capital of the nation named Mumbai, and more big metros like capital, New Delhi, show big chances to the people thinking for internal migration, for economic growth and development. At times, the influx of people to these cities is very heavy, followed by random growth in size of already existing slums and development of new slums also. Another factor which plays a big role in making city as attraction centers for internal migration, followed by bulking up of slums in process of urbanization and industrialization. Industrialization implies setting up of big industries whereby mechanics, technology and manpower together play part for mass level manufacture and production. Industrial towns and cities have great opportunities for skilled as well as non-skilled class workers who earn on contract basis or daily basis. Easy movement from one to other industry is another allied force, making people get convinced to accept that industrial towns are the best target regions to go for economic growth. Agricultural decline and the decline in the commercial cropping due to environmental alteration has largely pushed the rural bulk towards the metros and the big cities. Figure shows the proportion of the slum household in metros as per the year 11. The data makes it clear that how big cities like Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Delhi have the bulk of India's slums population. However, other factors which contribute in growth of slums, faulty planning by urban planners, rural dissatisfaction, lack of facilities in rural areas than urban areas, corruption and the like. Now we'll discuss the problems of slum population. Slums, as explained by Census 11, are featured with issues like dilapidation, overcrowding, faulty arrangements, and designs of such houses which are informally constructed or built. In addition, the streets where these houses are developed are narrow and have faulty arrangements. The houses in slums lack proper ventilation, light, and sanitation facilities. The slums and the slum houses are detrimental to health and safety of the dwellers. These are the basic issues faced by a slum population, but the tragedy does not end here. It just begins here. Slum population of India faces severe issues and problems which threaten their peaceful, healthy and efficacious survival. First of all, the thick density of population in slum households attacks their very much needed social space and privacy, which slum dwellers in fact forget to relish in the course of their life. In India, law of torts has not been much popularized and practiced. This sentence presents situations where people are not aware of the concepts like their rights against negligence by others, including community men and administration, nuisance by their own community men, by throwing garbage anywhere, using loud televisions and speakers for entertainment and the like, defamation by attacking one's privacy, by urinating anywhere or using cheap comments which are not one of the most ordinary ways of life. Not only this, females in the slums report that they are raped often by policemen of the region and also by their own community men, that is slum men, since they have not secured locked homes and to hide themselves. They don't stay with dignity. It is not a small issue. Rather, it is the biggest challenge for the nation like India, where social welfare is believed to be the crux of governance. Very less slums in India have safe drinking water, proper sanitation facilities, toiletries, covered bathing provisions, safe homes, public toilets, and the like. Most of the slum population in India lives in environmentally unsafe homes, making it more threatening for the bulk out of the 65 million slum populates. Slums have been reported having high crime incidence rates, including fights, rapes, attacks, assaults, and the like. Drug addiction, literacy, poverty, prostitution, child exploitation, beggary, low sex ratio, child mortality, and communicable diseases are some other serious problems being faced by slum population of India. The list of issues can be further expanded, but due to paucity of time, we are managing the length of the lecture in a viable manner. We'll discuss conclusion now. On the whole, it can be unapologetically said that whatever the problems of slum population are, there are two main lead factors behind those. Those are poverty and unemployment. Poverty makes a person accept living in a bad condition house and also makes him unable to improve the unhygienic or other conditions of the house he owns. On the other hand, unemployment makes a person financially handicapped with no resource to improve his living conditions, for example, quitting slums. If the issues and problems faced by slum population of India have to be curtailed or controlled, the major thrust has to be the efforts for curbing poverty and unemployment. Reducing the slums as such on the surface of the land is an utopian suggestion which shall not have any logical weightage. On the other hand, the existing slums can be worked upon with the technical change. There is a need to bridge the factual gap between identified, notified, recognized, and other slums. More the number of notified slums than the others, better can be the conditions of the slum population. Role of civil society in India has already touched heights in name of public satisfaction, and it can do wonders in case of slums conditions too. But in mass level matters like slums and the like, role of government comes first and assistive for non-governmental bodies and organizations. More than the 65 million living in slums of India today are very much the part of 121 crores Indians. Their good living, their good health, their privacy, dignity, and other rights should not be ignored or snatched. Good day, dear viewers. Hope to see you all again very soon.